Hey guys, and welcome back to another creepypasta video. So as you know, a month ago I published the Roblox Creepypasta series trailer on my channel, and a few days after I published a Roblox Creepypasta video by the name of Blood. And since then I haven't actually published any more Roblox Creepypasta videos. Because I was really not motivated to do YouTube and then I created a new video schedule which you should go check out. um and according to the schedule, Sundays are going to be more of creepy videos, so it's going to give like a creepy video vibe. It won't always be um creepy pastas. It won't always actually be creepy videos on Sundays, but I'm trying to keep to that vibe, so creepy videos on Sundays normally, with maybe skipping one week every month. It just depends on how it works. So mostly Sundays are going to be when the Roblox creepy pastas come out, because I just feel like Sunday gives that creepy vibe to end the week off. I don't know why, that's just how I feel. Okay, so yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it. I want to thank you guys for the support on Blood, the first Roblox creepypasta video that came out. It did quite well, and you guys were suggesting more creepypastas to do. Make sure to suggest creepypastas down below, and I will be checking them out and using some of them. There's some still on the Blood comments that I'm actually going to be using for next week Sunday. But yeah, this one is called 4 in 1. I've heard this one before. I haven't, I haven't read it, obviously. But I have heard of 4 in 1, the name, before. So yes. Apparently this one's good, and obviously at the end I'm gonna give my analysis of the myth and compare it to Blood. So be sure to go watch Blood first before you watch this one, to see like the layouts of the myth videos. So yeah, let's get into the myth. Before I tell you the story, I want to tell you a bit about myself. I'm your average wannabe developer, constantly building in studio, trying to learn Lua, and constantly fantasizing about my super popular, super successful game, and all my fans. I'm also a bit of a myth fanatic. I've never believed in the occult, nor have I believed in any conspiracy theories within a children's MMO. But I love the idea of all of these creepy stories. John and Jane Doe, Jerry, Melvin, and so on and so forth. Nowadays, though, I stay away from that. I don't know whether this was some prank or some serious fishy business, but it's giving me my full of creepiness. Alright, here's what happened. I logged on onto Roblox sometime in December to play some games, build some models, and chat with my friends. Seeing that one of my good friends was online, I opened my chat and invited her to a party. She then told me that she had to leave to do some shopping. Per the usual, she was always busy. Shortly after that, I got a notification from a user called 4in1, lead speak for Annie. I gathered. It was fairly innocent, with the misspellings and grammar of your average young girl, complete with one too many smileys. It read as follows: Hi username, smiley face. I saw your place and I think you are very good at building, smiley face. I think we should be friends. We can hang out at my place. It will become famous one day if you help me, smiley face. Honestly, I would have ignored it under normal circumstances. This girl is probably 10 years old at most, trying to become popular and have a lot of cool friends. However, I had been invited to this party despite never seeing this user before. I've set my chat privileges to friends only, and she's not on my friends list. I double checked all of these multiple times. No, my followers weren't allowed to chat with me. No users I follow wasn't allowed to chat with me. Even if they could, she wasn't following me. I wasn't following her. Of course, it could easily be a glitch after all. I do remember sending random party requests to users I didn't know, just for kicks. I chatted back at her. Thanks for the compliments, but who is this? Are you one of Dolores' little friends? A few seconds passed, and she replied, I do not know a Dolores, sorry. Upside down smiley face. But please come to my place, smiley face. So it wasn't some playmate of my sister's. I decided to leave it at that. I go play some different games. Only a few minutes later, 4in1 messaged me again. I said, come to my place. I ignored it, continuing to play games. I didn't need to get involved with some first grader, needy for attention. I don't really like kids, and I prefer to play by myself. Youth hating introvert master race. She continued to message me. I stopped reading them pretty quickly, but she kept messaging me. The constant string of notification beeps grew irritating, so I muted my browser. Eventually, I left my game. 4NN1 had stopped messaging me, and so I closed my chat window. Mistake. She picked up her pace right away, and despite closing the chat box, it kept popping up again. A Roblox feature that, time and time again, has frustrated me to no end. In the end, I decided that I'd join her game, even if only to make her shut up. That may have also been a mistake. I joined the game, which was simply titled 4 in One's Place. The description was the default as well. The place itself was the generic starter place, with everything colored a bright shade of pink, with free models of flowers, cats, and dogs. 4NN1 was already in the game waiting for my arrival. Upon seeing me, she typed several messages, overly excited that I was in her game. OMG username OMG OMG OGM OMG OGMG username well welcome smiley face with lots of chins. That was pretty much all there was. She told me a bit about how much she liked cookies and how much she liked cats. After about 10 minutes, she informed me that her mother had told her it was time for bed. She then said her goodbyes and left the game. I followed suit. Only being the evening for me, I opened up Roblox Studio and worked on various models before eventually turning in early. 4NN1 didn't message me for the rest of the week, allowing me some precious time to forget about her. In fact, when she messaged me again, it took me a little while to realize it was her. 4NN1 asked me to come to play with her again. I gladly obliged, knowing that I'd avoid major annoyances. However, her message bothered me. She had been replacing her usual smileys with frownies, and even her avatar's face didn't look too good either. However, other than those two rather jarring things, she kept her upbeat attitude. It wasn't any of my business, so I didn't ask. Probably upset over some rude kid at school or something. 4NN1 simply chatted at me while I was in her place. I was multitasking, playing phone games, and not really paying attention to 4NN1. However, I put my phone down once and she started asking some rather disturbing questions. Do you ever want to touch the rusty nails? Have you ever eaten a raw dog? Where do you live? I patiently told her to stop asking these questions as they made me uncomfortable. She didn't. She just kept asking the same questions, telling me that I couldn't leave until I answered them. At this point, I had had enough and left the game. I blocked 4NN1 and didn't hear from her again. That's what was supposed to happen. Only 2 days later, she sent me several angry and upset messages with the disturbing questions from before mixed in. She wanted me to come back to her game because I had cheated by not answering her questions. She tried everything from guilt tripping to insulting me and even to serious claims of how she only had so many days left to live. I continued to ignore it, muting my browser and playing a different game. I joined a game of Death Run to pass the time, but was instead redirected to 4NN1's place. Instead of in the lovely island lobby of Death Run, I was in the all too familiar ugly pink cabin. 4NN1 wasn't happy to see me, despite getting her way. She asked me why I hated her, why I kept leaving, and why I was so mean. I politely told her to calm down. She did, but continued to stay somber and upset. After that, I really hoped that I'd never had to see her again. But of course, I was dragged into playing with this maniac of a girl again. Her avatar's appearance had changed again. There was a streak of red across her face, and the dogs in the yard had disappeared. This time, 4NN1 didn't yell at me or ask any disturbing questions. She chatted with me about all the things she liked again, but without her usual pep. After a while, 4NN1 rather suddenly said this. It's hot in here. She left the game immediately after. Her pink house set ablaze, and the sky grew dark. My morbid curiosity led me into the burning house. Inside was a dark, burning figure with a grotesque smile. I left the game and logged off of Roblox. I felt sick to my stomach. If this was a prank with some exploiter, it was downright disgusting one. I stayed off of Roblox for a few weeks, and when I came back, I was somewhat relieved to see that she hadn't contacted me. I never saw her again. Wow, that was actually a pretty good story, guys. Personally, it was very well written, very well constructed, very well, you know, yeah, it conveyed the story very well. Um, while also sticking to that first person, while also sticking to the first person uh, vibe that a good myth is written has, you know. So it stuck to like the story, but it also gave very good first person. Yeah, and it also gave a very good background at the beginning that didn't really stray away from um, the story itself later on, and it also helpful in what could have been a lot of plot holes. I don't think there were that much plot holes in the story. And yeah, I personally think it was better written than Blood was. Again, go watch Blood again if you haven't. You know, pictures were supplied, etc., 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 which was really cool. Um, a bit of cliches. Some people are saying in the comments of this myth. Like yeah, it was pretty cliche, but I think it was actually really well written for a Roblox story. Like really, really well written. Like some of the things that you would think, like if you were in this situation, you would think some of the things the person thought in this story. Like you know, the reason she changed her face was because some kid was rude at her at school or something. That is something I personally would initially think like, oh, this 9-year old is messaging me and she changed her face. Oh, she's so childish, etc., etc., etc. Um, and yeah, obviously it had a very disturbing ending, to be honest. The thing with the fire at the end, that's very sad. It's getting hot in here, and then suddenly there's this person. Anyway, but yeah, that's interesting. A very interesting story. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments about the story. And yeah, I personally really enjoyed the story compared to Blood. Um, you know, it didn't add information that wasn't necessary, but it added information that explained to you what was going on. It added information that was necessary to add to the story. You get my vibe. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave down below some comments of what creepypasta I should do next week Sunday. And yeah, like this video right now, or you will get a message from 4 in 1 herself. Spooky vibes, yes gamers.